Fairfield, Connecticut. Fairfield is a town in Fairfield County, Connecticut, United States. It borders the city of Bridgeport and towns of Trumbull, Easton, Weston, and Westport along the Gold Coast of Connecticut. As of 2020, the town had a population of 61,512. In September 2014, Money magazine ranked Fairfield the 44th best place to live in the United States and the best place to live in Connecticut. History. Colonial era. In 1635, Puritans and Congregationalists in the Massachusetts Bay Colony were dissatisfied with the rate of Anglican reform and sought to establish an ecclesiastical society subject to their own rules and regulations. The Massachusetts General Court granted them permission to settle in the towns of Windsor, Wethersfield, and Hartford, which is an area now known as Connecticut. On January 14, 1639, a set of legal and administrative regulations called the Fundamental Orders was adopted. By 1639, these settlers had started new towns in the surrounding areas. Roger Ludlow, framer of the Fundamental Orders, purchased the land presently called Fairfield, and established the name. The name Fairfield is commendatory. According to historian John M. Taylor, early in 1639, the General Court granted a commission to Ludlow to begin a plantation at Pequannock. He was on that errand, with a few others from Windsor, afterwards joined by immigrants from Watertown and Concord. He stole a large tract of land from the Pequannock sachems, afterwards greatly. Towns created from Fairfield. Fairfield was one of the two principal settlements of the Connecticut colony in southwestern Connecticut. The other was Stratford. The town line with Stratford was set in May 1661 by John Banks, an early Fairfield settler, Richard Olmsted, and Lieutenant Joseph Judson, who were both appointed as a committee by the colony of Connecticut. The town line with Norwalk was not set until May 1685. Over time, it gave rise to several new towns that broke off and incorporated separately. The following is a list of towns created from parts of Fairfield. Reading in 1767, Weston in 1787, Easton created from Weston in 1845, Bridgeport in 1821, also partly from Stratford, and again in 1870 when the Black Rock section left Fairfield. Westport in 1835, partly from Weston and Norwalk. Revolutionary War. When the American Revolutionary War began in the 1770s, Fairfielders were caught in the crisis as much as, if not more than, the rest of their neighbors in Connecticut. In a predominantly Tory section of the colony, the people of Fairfield were early supporters of the cause for independence. Throughout the war, a constant battle was being fought across the Long Island Sound as loyalists from British-controlled Long Island raided the coast in whaleboats and privateers. Gold Silliman, whose home still stands on Jennings Road, was put in charge of the coastal defenses. In the spring of 1779, Silliman was kidnapped from his home by Loyalist raiders in preparation for a British raid on Fairfield County. His wife, Mary Silliman, watched from their home as on the morning of July 7, 1779, approximately 2,000 British troops landed on Fairfield Beach near Pine Creek Point and invaded the town. The force proceeded to burn Fairfield due to the town's support for Patriot cause. A decade later, President George Washington noted that after traveling through Fairfield, that the destructive evidence of British cruelty are yet visible both in Norwalk and Fairfield, as there are the chimneys of many burnt houses standing in them yet. 20th century. The First World War brought Fairfield out of its agrarian past by triggering an unprecedented economic boom in Bridgeport, which was the center of a large munitions industry at the time. The prosperity created a housing shortage in the city, and many of the workers looked to Fairfield to build their homes. The trolley and later the automobile made the countryside accessible to these newly rich members of the middle class, who brought with them new habits, new attitudes, and new modes of dress. The prosperity lasted throughout the 20s. By the time of the Wall Street crash of 1929, the population had increased to 17,000 from the 6,000 it had been just before the war. Even during the Depression, the town kept expanding. The grounding of a barge with 2 crewmen on Penfield Reef in Fairfield during a gale led to the first civilian helicopter hoist rescue in history on November 29, 1945. The helicopter flew from the nearby Sikorsky Aircraft Plant in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Fairfield became the home of the corporate headquarters of General Electric GE, one of the world's largest companies. On May 8, 2017, GE relocated to Boston, Massachusetts. The opening of the Connecticut Turnpike in the 1950s brought another wave of development to Fairfield, and by the 1960s the town's residential, suburban character was firmly established. Geography. The town is on the shore of the Long Island Sound. According to the United States Census Bureau, the town has a total area of 31.3 square miles, 81 km2, of which 30.0 square miles, 78 km2, is land, and 3.4 square kilometers, 1.3 sq mi, or 4.15%, is water. The Mill River, the waters of which feed Lake Mohegan, flows through the town. Neighborhoods. Fairfield consists of many neighborhoods. The best known are wealthy Southport, where General Electric Chief Executive Officer Jack Welch lived for many years, and Greenfield Hill, with its large green areas, famous dogwood trees, and picturesque green with its white-spired Congregational Church. Other neighborhoods include Stratfield, Tunxus Hill, the University area, Grasmere, Mill Plain, Knapp's Village, Melville Village, Holland Hill, Murray, and the Fairfield Beach area, which has recently undergone a renaissance with the construction of many new homes by residents wishing to live in proximity to the beach and downtown. This has resulted in steadily rising property prices. 2 shopping districts in town include the Post Road US 1 and Black Rock Turnpike. Fairfield Center/Downtown Fairfield. Fairfield Beach, Grasmere, Greenfield Hill, Lake Hills, Mill Plain, Murray, a a a a a a a a a a a a a and Murray, Sasko Hill and Beach, Southport, Stratfield Village, Tunxus Hill. Demographics. As of the census of 2010, there were 59,404 people in the town, organized into 20,457 households and 14,846 families. The population density was 1927 people per square mile, 744/km2. There were 21,648 housing units at an average density of 703 per square mile, 277/km2. The racial makeup of the town was 91.6% white, 3.7% Asian, 1.8% African American, 0.6% Native American, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 1.2% from other races, and 1.6% from 2 or more races. 5.0% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race. There were 20,457 households, out of which 38.3% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 60.6% were married couples living together, 9.1% had a female householder with no husband present, and 27.4% were non-families. 22.3% of all households were made up of individuals, and 15.1% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.69, and the average family size was 3.19. In the town, the population was spread out, with 25.4% under the age of 18, 11.1% from 18 to 24, 21.1% from 25 to 44, 27.4% from 45 to 64, and 15.1% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 40 years. For every 100 females, there were 90.5 males. For every 100 females aged 18 and over, there were 85.6 males. The median household income in 2013 dollars was $117,705. These figures had risen to $103,000. Males had a median income of $69,525 versus $44,837 for females. The per capita income for the city was $55,733. 2.9% of the population and 1.8% of families were below the poverty line. Out of the total population, 2.8% of those under the age of 18 and 3.6% of those 65 and older were living below the poverty line. Fairfield was notable for, among other things, its very low crime rate. There had been only 3 murders in the last 5 years in town. Money magazine's 2006 Best Places to Live survey ranked Fairfield as the second safest municipality in the United States. In 2012, Fairfield was ranked 64th in Money magazine's Best Places to Live. Government and politics. Economy. In May 2012, Moody's Investors Service revised the town of Fairfield's $192 million general obligation bond debt from negative to stable. In June 2012, Moody's awarded Fairfield with an AA bond rating, which it maintains to this date. Taxes. In 2005, the mill rate of Fairfield was 16.67. The 2012-2013 taxes in Fairfield rose 4% to a mill rate of 23.37. The 2013-2014 mill rate, which went into effect on July 1 for fiscal year 2013-2014, also increased by 2.38% to 23.93. Large and distinctive companies. R.C. Bigelow Tea Company Headquarters, Black Rock Turnpike. Sturm, Ruger and Company. Headquarters, Lacey Place in Southport. Firearms manufacturer. Fairfield University, 1073 North Benson Road, 5,000 students and more than 500 academic employees plus additional administrators and staff. Sacred Heart University, New England's second largest Roman Catholic university. Points of interest. Historic sites. Connecticut Audubon Society Burgcraft Museum and Sanctuary 314 on Quo Road, added 1982. Bronson Windmill 3015 Bronson Road, added 1971. David Ogden House 1520 Bronson Road, added 1979. Fairfield Historic District Old Post Road from Post Road to Cherney Road, added 1971. This is the old town center of Fairfield, roughly along Old Post Road between U.S. Route 1 and Cherney Road. The area contains Fairfield's Town Hall, public library, and houses dating from the late 18th century. Fairfield Railroad Stations, Carter Henry Drive, added 1989. Greenfield Hill Historic District, roughly bounded by Meeting House Lane, Hillside Road, Verna Hill Road, and Bronson Road, added 1971. John Osborne House 909 Kings Highway West, added 1987. K7. Jonathan Sturgis House 449 Mill Plain Road, added 1984. Pine Creek Park Bridge north of Old Dam Road, over Pine Circle, added 1992. Southport Historic District, roughly bounded by Southport Harbor, railroad tracks, Old South Road, and Rose Hill Road, added 1971. Southport Railroad Stations 96 Station St. and 100 Center St. added 1989. Arts, Entertainment, and Sports. The Regina A. Quick Center for the Arts on the campus of Fairfield University opened in 1990. Its schedule of events includes popular and classical music, dance, theater, programs for young audiences, and the Open Visions Forum Lecture Series, which feature opinion makers, artists, authors, political commentators, and contributors to the humanities and sciences. The Quick Center houses the 740-seat Kelly Theater, the 150-seat Lawrence A. Wynne Experimental Theater, and the Thomas J. Walsh Jr. Art Gallery. The Quick Center has become known as one of the finest concert halls in the country and was recognized as the cultural epicenter of Fairfield County by Westport magazine. The Pepsico Theater, a renovated 1922 carriage house on the campus of Fairfield University, is the home to the theater program of the Department of Visual and Performing Arts and Theater Fairfield, the resident production company of the university. The Pepsico Theater also hosts experimental productions by students, faculty, and local professionals. The Bellarmine Museum of Art on the campus of Fairfield University hosts shows by regional artists and touring exhibitions, as well as a permanent collection. The gazebo on Shermantown Green is home to concerts during the summer in the afternoon hours. Free to listen, along with free food and drinks, it is a place for entertainment. Many concerts are directed toward an older audience. WSHU-FM Public Radio, operated by Sacred Heart University. WVOF, student-run radio at Fairfield University. Fairfield University hosts collegiate athletic competitions open to the public, including basketball, baseball, cross-country, field hockey, lacrosse, rowing, soccer, swimming, tennis, and volleyball. Parks and recreation. Fairfield residents enjoy a wealth of recreational opportunities, many of which stem from Fairfield's enviable location on the Long Island Sound. The town's 5 miles 8 km of Long Island Sound coastline include 5 town beaches, which are staffed by lifeguards during the summer, and miles of privately owned beach which are open to the public below the high tide mark. South Benson Marina is a town-owned facility providing 600 boat slips which residents can rent for the summer. Lake Mohegan, which includes waterfalls called the Cascades, is a popular destination for hiking, as are the Fairfield Audubon Society and the Bird Sanctuary. Yacht Yard, a town-owned facility on Southport Harbor, provides boat launch services to residents and access to moorings in Southport Harbor. Yacht Yard is also the location of Community Sailing of Fairfield, whose members share use of 2 18-foot sailboats. The Sportsplex is located in downtown Fairfield and offers athletic activities such as ice skating, indoor climbing, indoor soccer, and gymnastics. Other points of interest. Connecticut Audubon Society Center at Fairfield, separate from the Birdcraft Museum and Sanctuary, 6 miles 10 km of boardwalk nature trails in a wildlife sanctuary of 160 acres 0.65. Fairfield Museum and History Center displays on local history, art and decorative arts, and a library on local history. Gallery of Contemporary Art at Sacred Heart University holds 5 exhibitions each year. Regina A. Quick Center for the Arts at Fairfield University. Government. The town government consists of the 3-member Board of Selectmen, a representative town meeting RTM, a Board of Finance, a Board of Education, a Town Planning and Zoning Commission TPZ, and many other politically appointed commissions, boards, and committees. The current first selectman is Brenda Kupchak R. Makeup of notable governmental bodies. As of November 22, 2021, Board of Selectmen, Republican-controlled 2-1. Representative Town Meeting, Democrat-controlled 20-17. 10. Board of Finance, Democrat-controlled 5-4. Special election held in 2021 to replace the seat left vacant by Ed Bateson on 5/17/21. Board of Education, Democrat-controlled 5-4. The town has no criminal or civil court system, and all trials are held and handled by the Bridgeport Superior Court system. However, the town does also offer access to a Juvenile Review Board (JRB) for certain juvenile cases outlined by the Fairfield Police Department. In the Connecticut General Assembly, Fairfield is represented by two Republicans, Sen. Tony H. Wank and Rep. Laura Devlin C. Timonus, 134, and two Democrats, Rep. Kristen McCarthy Vahey C. Timonus, 133, and Jennifer Leeper C. Timonus, 132. Emergency Services. Police Department. The Fairfield Police Department was created in 1926, approximately 287 years after the town was founded. Fire Department. The town of Fairfield is protected by the 95 career firefighters of the Fairfield Fire Department FFD and volunteer firefighters of the Southport Volunteer Fire Department and Stratfield Volunteer Fire Department. The career Fairfield Fire Department operates 5 fire stations located throughout the town and uses a fire apparatus fleet of 5 engine companies, 1 ladder company, 1 rescue company, 3 fireboats, and 1 shift commander's unit, as well as many special support and reserve units. The Southport Volunteer Fire Department has served the community since 1895. The Stratfield Volunteer Fire Department has several stations and has served the community since 1920. Education. Fairfield has 2 public high schools, Fairfield Ward and Fairfield Ludlow, 3 public middle schools, Roger Ludlow, Tomlinson, and Fairfield Woods Middle School, and 11 public elementary schools. Fairfield has several Catholic schools, including 2 high schools, Fairfield Prep and Notre Dame, and 2 primary schools, St. Thomas Aquinas and Our Lady of the Assumption. A 3rd Catholic primary school, Holy Family, was closed by the Diocese of Bridgeport at the end of the 2009-2010 academic year. Non-religious private schools include Fairfield Country Day School and the Unquo School. Fairfield is also home to 2 post-secondary institutions, Fairfield University and Sacred Heart University. Media. Fairfield Online News, Connecticut Post headquartered in neighboring Bridgeport. Fairfield Minuteman, Fairfield Citizen News, Fairfield Sun, Hamlet Hub Fairfield, Fairfield Magazine, Fairfield County Catholic, WVOF. Transportation. Fairfield is traversed by US 1, Interstate 95, and the Merritt Parkway. It has 3 Metro North Railroad stations, Fairfield Metro, Fairfield, and Southport. The town is served by several public bus lines of the Greater Bridgeport Transit Authority. Places of worship. St. Anthony of Padua Church, Church of the Apostles Anglican, Trinity Baptist Church, Church, Greenfield Hill Congregational Church, First Church Congregational UCC, Southport Congregational Church, Church, St. Paul's Episcopal Church, United States, St. Timothy's Episcopal Church, United States, Trinity Episcopal Church, United States, Fairfield Grace United Methodist Church, Black Rock Congregational Church, Non-Denominational Evangelical, Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, Our Savior's Lutheran Church, First Presbyterian Church of Fairfield Presbyterian Church, Holy Cross Roman Catholic Church, Our Lady of the Assumption, St. Pius X Church, St. Thomas Roman Catholic Church, Shabbat of Fairfield, Congregation Beth El. Notable people.